It's a solid enterprise and it's got a lot going for it. I'm just floored by the fact that there's so few black artists featured on it.
Number 10, faking the drama. One of the biggest criticisms that reality shows have faced over the years is that they're actually not very real. Many such series have been plagued by claims that a lot of the tension and conflict is manufactured just for the cameras.
Finally, and thank you, Brittany.
As one of the major channels for reality shows, MTV has certainly not been exempt from such criticism. In fact, some of the individuals who first attained fame on the platform have expressed the same sentiment publicly.
I felt like MTV Coming kept it alive and made it way worse than it ever would have been. Is that also your take? And you can be brutally honest.
Yeah, I think it was done.
Right?
When they started filming, like, this is what I remember. I remember everything happened. And then it was like, was it formal?
Yes.
It was like a week before they started filming. We got into it and then made up.
Former Laguna Beach stars Kristen Cavallari and Lauren Conrad revealed in an interview that their rivalry on the show was significantly exaggerated. And if you thought the shows were not scripted, according to Teen Mom 2 alum Janelle Evans, you are dead wrong.
At times, the show is very scripted, and sometimes producers feed lines to cast members.
True. Number 9, the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show controversy. Today, the 2004 Super Bowl is remembered mostly for the infamous incident that occurred during the halftime show. While performing together, Justin Timberlake accidentally exposed Janet Jackson's breast in what is now known as the wardrobe malfunction. As they had produced the halftime show, MTV found itself at the center of the controversy.
Oh my God, can't believe what I saw as I turned on the TV. This evening, I was disgusted by all the injustice.
The channel was banned by the National Football League from ever taking on that role again in the future. MTV's parent company Viacom was also fined $550,000 by the FCC, although that was ultimately overturned on appeal. Seemingly in retaliation for these penalties, Viacom effectively blacklisted Jackson, refusing to air her music on MTV or any of their other subsidiaries.
Do you think people were too hard on you?
I think they were. I think they did put all the emphasis on me.
Number 8, negative stereotypes on Buck Wild. After hitting it big with Jersey Shore, MTV decided to try their hand at a more remote version of the lucrative concept. Enter Buck Wild.
Our motto around here is whatever happens, happens.
Set in the heart of West Virginia, the show chronicled the antics of a group of young adults living in the rural part of town. Just like Jersey Shore, which was criticized for its negative portrayal of Italian Americans, Buck Wild also faced backlash for perpetuating harmful stereotypes.
I don't have no phone, Facebook, none of that internet stuff.
Longtime West Virginia politician Joe Manchin even penned a letter to the president of MTV, calling for the cancellation of the show. Although MTV initially renewed it for a second season, the series eventually got the axe in light of the death of one of the cast members.
They released a statement to us and they said that we are shocked and we are saddened by the terrible news about Shane Gandy and those involved in this tragic incident.
Number 7, the issue of physical violence. One of the major draws for reality TV is the heated conflict between cast members that can sometimes turn physical.
Play with me if you want to. We can get real serious, real fast.
I will play with you, and you will lose.
Dare you do.
Although MTV has reiterated that such behavior would result in the offending individual being kicked off the program, it turns out they haven't always adhered to their word. A prominent example of this came in the real world Portland, with castmates Nia Moore and Johnny Riley.
He's already broken anyway.
Well, you bigger than that, though.
I am.
Moore reportedly got violent with Riley, even using a blow dryer as some sort of weapon, and seemed to face no consequences for it. However, it seems MTV has since intensified its efforts to hold offenders responsible, as Moore was promptly sent home after harassing another castmate on the spin-off show, The Challenge. Number 6, Neve Schulman misconduct allegations.
It sucks to lose something, doesn't it? Something important to you?
Production on the 7th season of the hit MTV show Catfish was halted in 2018 after host Neve Schulman was accused of inappropriate behavior. A former guest on the show, Aisha Morgan, uploaded 2 YouTube videos in which she claimed Shulman had repeatedly harassed her.
Speaking of the claims, a spokesperson for MTV said, "We take these allegations very seriously. We're working with Critical Content, our third-party production company, to conduct a thorough investigation."
MTV briefly suspended Shulman while the investigation was underway. After questioning multiple witnesses and reviewing footage from the show, they concluded that there was no evidence to support the allegations and resumed filming.
The people who I do work with, who do know me, and others from my past, backed me up.
In response, Morgan labeled the investigation a sham, claiming that she wasn't contacted by the third-party investigator during the inquiry. Number 5. Beavis and Butthead fiery inspiration.
Our top story tonight about a cable cartoon show that's getting an awful lot of laughs.
But Beavis and Butthead are no laughing matter to many people.
On September 6, 1993, an episode of MTV's adult animated series Beavis and Butthead aired, in which the titular teenage slackers burned down a comedy club.
We should be on TV. How come that club owner dude didn't like us?
Exactly 1 month later, a boy named Austin Messner accidentally razed his family's home while playing with a cigarette lighter. While Messner, his mother, and her boyfriend were able to escape unhurt, his younger sister wasn't so lucky, as she lost her life in the process. Messner's mom, Darcy Burke, eventually blamed the show for the incident, arguing that the cartoon characters encouraged her young son to play with fire. The claims were, however, disputed, as Messner later attested that he never watched Beavis and Butthead prior to the unfortunate accident.
Are you gonna finish all those nachos? Can I have some?
Number 4. The Skins Scandal. The British teen comedy series Skins became a cult classic, partly for its controversial depiction of adolescence. In 2011, MTV hoped to replicate the same success across the pond when they adapted the show for an American audience.
Tabitha, were you wondering if you and your friends would like a little something?
Something? A little something?
Despite being called a tamer show than its source material, the US version of Skins caused a huge uproar for its racy storylines, which featured a young cast. The conservative Parents Television Council also voiced their disapproval, urging the Department of Justice to file criminal charges against the series.
No, him, not me, him, you idiot!
As a result of the backlash, multiple advertisers pulled their support. Although MTV initially defended its quote-unquote frank depiction of teenage life, Skins was canceled after just 1 season.
In this phase, the feelings of low self-esteem and hopelessness are common. But these will finally give way to acceptance that what has been lost can never return.
Number 3. The teen mom problem.
4 months ago, my biggest worry was what I was going to wear to prom. And now I have the most important decision of my life to make.
Beginning in the late 2000s, MTV saw ratings success with its reality shows 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom. Both series documented the lives of multiple young mothers during and after their pregnancies. Although the channel claims that it had intended to put on a realistic portrayal of pregnancy in order to educate young adults, it soon came under fire.
It's kind of still a novel and everything, but there's responsibility.
Many detractors argued that the shows glamorized teen pregnancy and depicted it as an easy route to fame and fortune. Despite the criticism, both series continued to grow in popularity, and studies have shown that they have at least partially played a part in the declining teen birth rates in the US.
I don't feel like a teenager no more, especially having this baby, having Leah. I can't even go to sleep at night sometimes.
Number 2. Allegations of racism. Although MTV is now mostly known for its reality and scripted programming, it originally launched in 1981 to air music videos. However, in its early years, critics pointed out that MTV's roster featured almost exclusively white artists and failed to reflect the diversity in the music industry at the time. These claims received more attention after they were echoed by music stars Rick James and David Bowie.
The only few black artists that one does see are on about 2:30 in the morning or to around 6. Very few are featured predominantly during the day.
No, that's a...
I'll say that over the last couple of weeks these things have been changing, but it's a slow process.
This blackout, according to MTV executives, was not due to racism. Instead, they stated that rock music, which was the genre they intended to focus on, was not widely represented by black musicians. MTV apparently had no choice but to broaden its scope as a result of the rise of Michael Jackson, and later, the hip-hop genre.
People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts.
Number 1. Tanya Cooley assault accusations. Tanya Cooley first rose to prominence as a cast member on the 11th season of MTV's The Real World back in 2002. She returned to compete on multiple seasons of the spin-off show The Challenge from 2003 until 2009.
I'm gonna have a problem with that. I could say so much right now that you're just really not worth it.
2 years after her final season, Cooley filed a lawsuit against MTV, the show's production company, and 2 of her former The Challenge castmates. Cooley claimed that she had been assaulted during the production and that she was disqualified from the series in retaliation.
Do I look like I'm backing down? Do I look like I'm backing down?
MTV and the producers refuted the allegations, arguing that Cooley's claims were, quote, completely baseless. The case was eventually settled out of court. Since then, neither Cooley nor either of the 2 castmates in question have returned to the channel.
I'll go home. I'm done.
You're done, yeah.
Tanya, come here, sweetie.
Awesome.
Okay.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.